in a letter. And as such, is constitutional mandate, and we are going to act in keeping with the law that control and support every leader in this country. So, Mr. Presiding, our colleague was not in error by providing all of the legal reliance, and I believe
Hold on. Mr. Presiding, co-presiding.
One thing I thank you to the distinguished colleagues from Brentford. Proceeding well.
Co-presiding, our colleague was very clear, and all of the reliance are all in keeping with our law controlling this jurisdiction.
And so, folks, we'll back to the continuation of this live broadcast.
We support.
We are very sorry for the poor network connectivity that we are experiencing. But right now, we seems to be very okay. Things are on course, and a lot of courts are down deliberating on the matters of the Supreme Court. So up next is Honorable Marcus Tomon of District 4, Mosovaro County. So folks, those lawmakers are deliberating on the issues of the Supreme Court rate of prohibition.
There are some authors in your district keen to attend the room over to just read me and let us. If you to me and confine me, no thanks. So, enrolling clerk, please take note of that.
And so folks, we have currently Honorable Priscilla Cooper has left. She has legislative engagement in her district. So she has asked for an excuse from her fellow colleagues here at the Joint Chambers of Capitol Building.
And how the court has considered any issues. So on the basis of that, it is also clear and unabated that the Senate is currently in session because this plenary has quorum and is proceeding and doing the Liberian people business. So having said that, owing to the sufficient nature and the plain meaning of Article 3 of our Constitution, which clearly states that Liberia is a sovereign state with unitary sovereign state with 3 branches of government that are separate but coordinate. Under the doctrine of coordination and the doctrine of separation of power, we want to move Mr. Presiding, co-presiding and colleagues, that the chief clerk, the acting chief clerk of this plenary, be instructed to work with the Committee on Judiciary to officially communicate to His Honor Justice Yami Kwekwe Bese, Justice in Chamber, affirming our decision to honor his invitation to appear for the conference, and equally so this plenary should move to have our team of lawyers prepared to make representation if I can obtain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, I've been listening to the motion made by our distinguished colleagues of North Colorado District 4, and he has been seconded. We all restating the motion.
Already.
So we take Honorable Yan Lungo, Honorable Paul, and Honorable Kwame.
Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement can make this amendment. That in the communication to be sent to the Supreme Court, there must be a reminder that with the requisite provisions quoted from the Constitution by our colleagues earlier, that will continue to come to plenary to do the Liberian people work until we have that conference. Then it will be spelled out to the movement.
The elder has spoken from the shores of Nimba County, and we have no option
On the mountain,
but from the mountains of Mount Nimba, so nothing else but to accept. Someone said does not officiate.
We already stated the motion. Are you ready to vote? Ready. Honorable Paul?
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable President and Co-President, distinguished colleagues. Our colleagues have just said it, surpluses don't this year. And so what I wanted to add is what the elder have said. So thank you.
Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleague, I will be ready to vote if the movement will accept that the committee will brief plenary on Thursday as to update of how we will appear for said conference. The Judiciary Committee. That the committee could brief plenary on Thursday to update plenary as to how we appear for the conference on Monday.
Thank you. As this motion has been put forward, and with the clear nature of the motion that the committee is going to work with the Office of the Chief Clerk to ensure that an official response is submitted to the Sacred Chamber of the Supreme Court. We want to say to you that by Monday, we will officially inform this body as to the, Thursday, as to the manner and form of execution as mandated by plenary. Thank you. Accept.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the modification they have been accepted, we all restating them. Are you ready to vote? Ready. I'm Samuel Iboga.
Presiding police, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this motion in the amendment. That since we have resolved to abide by the issue of attending the conference, that any discussion leading to what they proceeding should not be discussed by any of the members. We know what to respect to the committee that's supposed to work out our modality before we be charged with such disease.
So on the principle of the doctrine of sub judice, which says that if a matter is before a court, it cannot be heard anywhere outside of the court. That also applies to us as members of this other body, that as we prepare to appear before the Supreme Court on the 4th of November, we should abstain from public appearances as it relates to this matter. So I so accept. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, we all restating the motion. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor, put your right hand. Against? Those abstain? Honorable Chief Clerk.
Honorable Co-Presiding, the vote is unanimous.
With the vote, unanimous vote, Honorable Acting Chief Clerk, pay ad accordingly. Next on the agenda.
October 28, 2024. Mr. James Toby, Acting Chief Clerk, Majority Leaders of the House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Tuobi, I write to acknowledge receipt of your two communications dated October 22nd, 2024 and October 24, 2024, respectively, which emanated from you by directive of a good number of my colleagues who I organize under the canopy majority members of the House of Representatives and currently convening in the joint chambers of the legislature. In the forementioned letters, my distinguished colleagues have revoked appropriate provisions of the rules and procedures of the House of Representatives, as well as the Liberian Constitution, to compel me to appear in the joint chamber on Tuesday, October 29, 2024. This is happening in the wake of a resolution signed by all majority members to remove Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. In view of the foresaid, and considering that this proceeding squarely and seriously border on the rules and procedure and on the Liberian Constitution, I write to crave the indulgence of my colleagues in the joint chamber. My absence today in order to allow me some time to consult with my legal team regarding the matter at hand to enable me make an informed decision that will not contravene the Liberian Constitution and other relevant statutes. Please extend to the honorable colleagues my appreciation for their invitation. Sincerely, Thomas P. Fowler, Representative, Electoral District, Number 1, Lofa County, and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, Honorable Members of the House of Representatives, that is a communication from the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Thomas Fowler, to this August body.
Distinguished colleagues of the 55th Legislature, having listened to the reading of the communications from the distinguished Honorable of Lofa County District Number 1, Honorable Thomas P. Fowler, Deputy Speaker, 55th Legislature, craving the indulgence of plenary. What is the waiting pleasure? Honorable Police Honorable.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleague, having listened to the communication from the Deputy Speaker, craving, appealing, asking for an excuse from plenary to the sitting, I move the back in a second, that the said communication be received, open for discussion, in as much as we have said a lot of issues for the past few days. The said communication should be open for discussion, and the will of plenary should prevail. So move.
Having listened to the motion, may I have
So folks, our motion have been
we are restating the motion. Are you ready to vote?
stated by
All those in
for
favor
the
say
family
yea.
of Bond County
Against? The motion
regarding
is not
the
carried.
communication of the Deputy Speaker.
The proponent of the communication is not yet. So we recognize people have to pull your hands up. So if you want to speak, please put your hand up, you will be recognized. Again, after him, we will take Honorable Winner, Honorable Flomo, in that order. After the president,
Thank you. Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues. Having listened to the communication from our Deputy Speaker, who is not just a Deputy Speaker, but someone who has been within the corridor of the legislature for 18 plus years,
And it touched me when he acknowledged that what we've done is bordering around procedure. And knowing the gains of this legislature, I think this should be the third time witnessing such action being taken by majority members. His communication, in my mind, legitimizes our sitting. In as much as he has not come and acknowledging our sitting, because mind you, we sent him up to mission. We told him that within 40 he would have been here. He didn't come. We again gave him another option, that he should appear before, or he should be with us today and give reason why he did not honor our 48-hour ultimatum. This communication, I think we should receive it, but also with a caveat, informing him. Like in my opening statement, I said, he's someone who has been within the corridor. He knows the consequences. But the fact that he has acknowledged our gathering, our sitting, I think we should honor, we should accept his communication, but also give him large ultimatum that he should be with us no later than this Thursday. If he doesn't do that, which in my mind I know he will not refuse. We've called upon him, he has asked for an excuse. We should go another step in giving him few hours, or if I may say days, that on Thursday he should be written officially by us that we acknowledge his communication, but also he should be with us on Thursday in section, and as we proceed to do the work of the Liberian people. Thank you.
What is the thank you, Honorable Kenya? We go to Honorable William.
So folks, that was the deliberation of Honorable Dawon Clipia.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I've listened to communication from our energetic Deputy Speaker of the 55th National Legislature. I stated reasons why he cannot be here today. I got reminded about our rules, and whenever you write a communication to a minister or any government parastatus, it is accepted that institutions, when they are unable to appear to plenary, they should be able to communicate to plenary through a singular manner. State the reason why they are unable to come. So having listened to the doings of the parliament, I'm aware that one of the modus operandi of this place, that letter should be treated in the best manner to give the Deputy Speaker the opportunity, like he said, consult the lawyers, consult the opponent, come back this coming Thursday to do the Liberian people business, because our purpose of being here is to do the Liberian people work. We came from our various districts. When we entered, we were told that we should conduct sessions for the Liberian people. Vast majority of us were here, 43 members are here to do the people business. I'm not sure the Deputy Speaker will honor my Article 33 of the Liberian Constitution. So I pray the indulgence of my fellow colleagues to allow the Deputy Speaker to do a legal consultation as to prepare and give him the reason why he should appear on Thursday. Thank you so much. Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues,
After listening to the letter from the Deputy Speaker, I think the Deputy Speaker is not definitely when it comes to time. That whole communication is indefinite. And we can't be sitting for him to be consulting his lawyer, we don't know the specific time. So I believe we should set another communication, giving a specific time that he can appear here and be part of doing the Liberian people business in the majority house. Thank you very much.
Yeah, folks, deliberations on the floor regarding the letter from the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Thomas P. Fala, requesting this block to excuse him sometime as he's expected to consult his legal team for further actions. And this is where we are, the lawmakers debating his communication.
I've been denied.
Fellow colleagues,
I've been
I think we, in a special review here, I think we try to testify the same.
Step by step.
Your good friend to the Deputy Speaker coming plenary to be begging on his behalf. What order?
Order this. Order, Honorable William.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished police. My order, immediately on the background of Steve Tikwa.
Honorable Steve.
Honorable Steve Tikwa.
According to your order, you're addressing me now.
I'm a legal contributor and there's a book bearer to this. We are all police in this place. It's not a bearer. Thank you.
They are very close. And the team must stay there. And because you will not time plenary and be begging for the speaker, the Deputy Speaker here. And I will be straight here. He was elected by the body to serve. Lawyers that elected him. You were elected to do the Liberian people work. What kind of excuse is that? Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding. And the words in the letter that will go back to the Deputy Speaker to be very strong. That on Thursday, if the Deputy Speaker does not appear in our session, his seat should be vacant and refilled immediately with an election. Is that motion? But I'm serious because the Deputy Speaker need to take this matter serious. The excuse in the letter is not genuine. It's not strong enough. You need to take us serious.
We want to thank you to Honorable Tikwa. We see Honorable Johnson Williams.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues. I've listened to the honorable gentleman, Honorable Vikia of Nimba, and Honorable Anthony Williams of Maryland, regarding the content of the communication from Honorable Thomas Fala, Deputy Speaker of the 55th Honorable House of Representatives, giving an excuse in my mind that is very weak. The Honorable Deputy Speaker writes us and informing us that he will talk to his lawyer. This is an affront. On the first day we took a decision in plenary. We gave him a 48 hours ultimatum. He didn't appear. We took a further decision on Thursday to have him appear. He did not appear. On this day that he's supposed to be here, he writes us and telling us that he will talk to his lawyer. So the deputy speaker,
Information on Samuel Igbo.
I think Mr. Presiding to
Please come closer for the microphone.
yeah, presiding to my lender brother and talking lovely for the campaign. Very consistent in decision making. My information is the deputy speaker in the first place cannot be respectful. The acknowledgement in the response is a clear indication that he acknowledged the legitimacy of this plenary. So we agree with you and we will know where your frustration coming from. But we need to look at it in a meticulous form to address it and see the way forward. Since indeed he wrote us, he said we'll consult a lawyer, but the fact that he already accepted us. So the issue of consultation on lawyer should be out of it.
Honorable Presiding.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, colleagues. Mr. Presiding, I want to call the honorable gentleman on the Koga to order for the fact that this matter is constitutional, and our brother or my colleague from Ruaji is highlighting why the communication is weak. The honorable gentleman from Nema County should not see the expression from our brother as constriction. That's my order to him.
Okay,
I take the diction frustration back. But my concern, let me discuss the issue that Father should come and all of us will be in support.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding. And you know, God has a way of doing things. And Honorable Koga, you have just strengthened my argument. And let me inform you and the Deputy Speaker that we are not asking.
Honorable Johnson, wait
Yes.
Speak to the presiding.
Yes, Honorable Presiding, we are not begging for recognition. For the record, we are not begging for recognition. We have the quorum consistent with our rules, consistent with the Constitution, and we are legal. I go back. The Deputy Speaker's response is not appropriate. And we should not allow this, honorable presiding, co-presiding, colleagues, we should not allow the honorable Deputy Speaker to ignore this group or to take us for something else. I think in my mind, for the honorable Deputy Speaker, on account of our second notice to him, rest us to tell us that he has to consult his lawyer is contemptuous. And I will agree with my colleague. We must take a decision today. This parent will decide the fate of the Deputy Speaker. Let him join Speaker over. It's clear. The Deputy Speaker is no longer interested in this position. Colleagues, this matter is serious, and the Liberian people are watching us. Today, it is the day to decide the fate of the Deputy Speaker. And it's so serious. We can refer to our journal. Our motion, the journal is very clear on our honorable presiding. The Deputy Speaker, in his letter, in my mind, has effectively informed us that he's no longer interested in the position. Hence, we should take a decision now to fill that vacancy. Very weak.
We want to say thank you to Honorable Johnson William. Our distinguished colleagues, before you come in, Honorable C, before you come, distinguished colleagues, there is one thing I want us to underline on the communications. While we all express our own level of disappointment on the issues of the Deputy Speaker not appearing, But there's one issue we should underline from a legislative point of view. If a member can be indulgent, asking for an excuse, our record we acknowledge, understand that that member respect the body. Again, once he has carved the indulgent or plenary, asking to consult a lawyer, it is better for plenary to either give him a time or to give him a definite time that he should be here. So I agree with you. I agree with all of the speakers that the decision should be made by plenary and give me a time that he should be here. So thank you. So Tion will see and will take the way forward.
I think I'm close to it. Okay. Let me walk on. Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. After the clear reading of the message on the letter that came from our deputy speaker, it's very clear that the deputy speaker has recognized this body as a legitimate body and has written us a communication. And we all gather here now in the executive session and we maybe have some discussion on these two topics that we have on hand. We have to know the position that the deputy speaker is sitting in today. Let us not forget that being a deputy speaker, when you were speaker, and your people are then removed, and maybe you just follow the same day in role and you are part and parcel of this thing that happened. Let us be clear with that. They can't have any of us here. So for my delay, I see that the letter is clear, and you are not like this body as a legitimate body. We should give me a chance. The only thing I believe is, we should write a letter again, stating that it should be in plenary on Thursday. But to say we should declare the seat vacant after now, I believe that would not be proper for us. Let us understand that he wrote us, and we should accept what he has said because the position he is now, if any of us get my pen, and you will not take a decision. That's my point on that issue.
Information. The general way forward.
We are taking way forward on this issue. 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 I'm Thomas, you are not recognized. I'm Thomas, you are not recognized. It should be legislative. It should be legislative. It should be legislative. We take a way for legislative. You either take inquiry, observation, information, or you feel that so we take a way for. Information denied. Information denied. Information denied. Information denied.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the letter from Deputy Speaker Honorable Fala, I will move, if I can obtain a second, that the letter be noted, accepted, noted, and a communication be sent back in response to this letter requesting Honorable Fala to be present on Thursday.
So second.
Distinguished colleagues.
Motion has been stated by Honorable Mary Johnson of this Requesting the person of the Deputy Speaker here on Thursday that his communication has been received.
Distinguished colleagues, I have been listening to the motion.
That's the fate of the Deputy Speaker.
We all restate the motions. Are you ready to vote?
I'm ready.
Right. So we take Honorable Jones, Honorable William, Anthony William, Honorable Taylor. So after in that order.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, co-presiding colleagues. To the mover, I will be ready to vote considering that there is a rate of prohibition in which this body should be represented by the Judiciary committees. I will be ready to vote because the rate of prohibition carried on Funati Kofa and other officers elect in accordance with our standing rule. And if you were to consider our standing rule, it means that the Deputy Speaker, the Chief Clerk, the Deputy Chief Clerk, and the Sergeant at Arms are those that are elected in accordance with our rule. While the Deputy Speaker has written us asking for excuse to consult his lawyer, I will be ready to vote where the communication to carry so that the Deputy Speaker can provide clarity as to whether he is a part of the rate of prohibition. If not, yeah, he distanced himself from that communication. I will be ready to vote.
And so folks have been accepted that the Deputy Speaker distance from the rate of prohibition filed by the Speaker of 55th House of Representatives J. Funati Kofa against the majority bloc.
I'll be ready to vote in the moment we accept amendment to the motion that the communication that be sent to the Deputy Speaker should include, with a caveat, that should he refuse to appear on this Thursday, being October 31st, 2024, he should consider that position is vacant. Are we ready to vote?
The Honorable Williams? I do respect you, sir, but I so reject.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the modification of the motion to have it stated there, are you ready to vote? Honorable Taylor?
To the movement, I will be ready to vote.
Before you do this big consultation, you do it?
I'll be ready to vote if you could accept this simple amendment. That whilst we are writing a communication to the Deputy Speaker, we gave reasons why he did not attend to add an obligation, that the Chief Clerk and her entire Secretariat, including the Sergeant at Arms, will also be communicated to, that they be here to be made to attend on Thursday.
Information.
Failure to do so, by which an election will be held to replace them. That's why I'm ready.
So, Honorable Taylor,
for the movement.
Yeah, Honorable Taylor, before the movement come in, the clerical staff are all present, only
I can see the Chief Clerk.
are coming side. The Chief Clerk and the Deputy Chief Clerk are not here. The Sergeant, according to our record, is not well. Everyone is well. And then by our rules, after the sergeant arm, you have the doorman. So I think they are here also.
Honorable Presiding, the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk.
Now what I'm saying to you, I'm agreeing to
We communicated to them, and we have not heard from them. So we need to hear from them.
I'm agreeing to you, but also informing that the clerical staff are here. Only the two of them are missing.
Yeah.
So there will be a complicated.
So we need to know the reasons why.
I agree with you. To the movement.
So they need to be here. So please don't repeat.
Why aren't they here?
No, I mean,
Because we are reading the seminar panel that the deputy speaker.
but on one condition that the letter be written to the chief clerk, because the deputy is well. So, but can be written also. But he said if you don't, come, then the question. That's what I want to make clear that he's now well. I accept.
Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the modifications of the motions, we are restating them. Are you ready to vote? Ready. Honorable Thomas. Everyone going to ask for more things.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, and distinguished colleagues. For the moment, I will be ready to vote if you can accept a simple amendment that the official correspondence to the Deputy Speaker asserting our decision here should carry categorically section 10 of our rule, 10 of our rule, especially the last paragraph which I want to read verbatim. It says when a speaker is absent from session, the deputy speaker should act in accordance with Rule 8.1 and 8.2. In the absence of the speaker and deputy speaker, such member of the House as the House may elect for that purpose shall preside. And such members shall be known as the Speaker pro tempore. So that letter should carry clearly that his refusal to appear before this plenary to preside, which is guided by our rules and the Constitution, it should be a clear mandate that his absence will leave us with no alternative but to conduct our election, and we have our Speaker pro tempore who will preside and take this office body to the next 6 months that we can elect our Speaker. Thank you if I can have that attention.
To a law-abiding citizen of the House of Representatives.
Yes, sir.
We have to do this by non people business. So based on that, I do accept.
Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the modifications of the motion, we are restating the motions. Are you ready to vote? Honorable Colette. After Honorable Colette, Honorable Samuel G. Focus.
Distinguished presiding, distinguished co-presiding,
distinguished colleagues, I think it is prudent that we bring to the attention of this plenary that both the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk are elected officials of this plenary. And no, under our rule, it says that when the sergeant is not present
is considered that he's president.
So, taking into consideration that the chief clerk, the deputy chief clerk are all elected separately
and were given separate communication
to have their matter discussed, honor the communication, or to have a motion taken, honor the communication from the office of the deputy speaker, I think that is unfair to this plenary. So I want to plead to the movement to accept my amendment that after discussing in a decision taken on the matter on the communication deputy speaker, the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk be discussed under miscellaneous or AOB, which is clearly stated on our agenda. Please.
That's information that's not relevant.
I still don't readiness. Thank you.
This was a different subject matter.
But they put it to
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the qualification of the motion, we all received the motion. Are you ready to vote? Honorable Koga.
Ready. Before you go, you can love it. Discussing deputy speaker excuse, then you bring it
to the member and also partially to the movement.
We'll discuss that.
The communication emanating from us to be clearly defined. As my colleague invoked Article 10 of our rule, it implies that since we came here, the two of you have been serving as exactly opposite. Therefore, Mr. Presiding, we should ensure that the election be held today and one of you be that seat for Father to know that we are not joking. They will postpone, I better say that somebody found waiting. One of you to be elected here on white ballot on my proposal. To assume the responsibility as a speaker program so that we proceed from now onward. And that is my already and I think the fellow with daughter.
Distinguished colleagues, there's I'm coming, Honorable Johnson. Honorable Koga. You can see that you can handle it. Honorable Koga, on readiness. Honorable Koga, that on readiness will be seized by the presiding. And will be Honorable Koga. Honorable Koga. Honorable Koga. Distinguished colleagues. So, distinguished colleagues, the presiding will seize that readiness and treat that unreadiness on a merciless. Distinguished colleagues, Honorable Koga, we will seize that unreadiness and we will treat that on a merciless. We will treat that on a merciless. Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the modification of the motions, we are restating those modifications. Are you ready to vote? All those in the club, we are ready up. Against? Abstain?
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, the vote is unanimous.
With the vote being unanimous, the motion carried. Honorable Acting Chief Clerk, please add the correct. Next on our agenda is the issues with the Chief Clerk. After that, then we go to the Lieutenant. It's Chief Clerk and Sergeant. And so, Honorable Clerk, we'll give you 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. You can speak less than 2 minutes will be for us, but not more than 2 minutes. The inquiry on number 4.
Yeah, you have just said, according to the agenda, we are about to treat the issue of the chief clerk, the deputy chief clerk, and the sergeant. And we haven't heard from the agenda. You are now referring to Honorable Goulet.
No, we treat the honor mercilessness. So there's nothing on the agenda now. The agenda is after. Well, I mean, only the publication were not on the agenda. Yeah, come again? Yeah, so agenda item. Yeah. So it's not messing now. The agenda has been exhausted. Is that so? To the clerical side, is there any communication from the chief clerk or the deputy chief clerk? The sergeant? No, sir. There's no communication. So, Honorable Clerk, will give you 2 minutes.
Distinguished colleagues, Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding colleagues, what prompted my readiness is that the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk were all elected equally. That the speaker, the deputy speaker, along with the sergeant at arms. And our rule is clear. To remove them, you need 2/3 majority, which is 49. So, to send a communication to the chief clerk to appear before us, that of the deputy chief clerk to appear before us, and the deputy speaker, if in terms of rank, deputy speaker comes above them, if the deputy speaker can write to us, acknowledging our presence and asking us for an excuse, and the deputy clerk and the clerk left silent with no regard to this body, I think their action is a total disrespect to this body. The deputy speaker wrote us. What about the clerk? What about the deputy chief clerk? I'm not making too much emphasis on the sergeant, because it is clear in our rule. Once the sergeant is here, it is understood they were designated. And here we can see the presence of almost 4 sergeant arms in here. I think the deputy chief clerk and the chief clerk could have written us. On the basis of that, I think it is unfair to this plenary. Why having the privilege to discuss this matter, if I can enjoy the confidence of the gavel to afford me the opportunity to file this in the motion, if I can enjoy the confidence of the gavel, why am I to file this in the motion? Can I proceed? Upon receiving endorsement of my colleagues and that of the gavel, I want to move, if I can obtain a second, that the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk be written once again to appear before this body, not later than Thursday, to give reason why they did not appear today. Upon that decision and the information given, we will be able to make a determination as to whether we can set aside them free, or we can proceed with other legislative punishment for them. If I can obtain a second.
2 seconds.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the motion and been seconded, we are restating the motion. Are you ready to vote? Ready. Honorable NS.
Mr. President, Mr. Co-Presiding, and my distinguished colleague, my unreadiness has to do with the fact that we have written the office of the chief clerk twice without receiving any response. I feel that it's a total disrespect and there is no need to write the deputy, let me say the chief clerk, to provide reason why they are not here. My unreadiness, I will be ready to vote if the communication can clearly state why the chief clerk cannot be held in contempt. Considering the fact that for the past 3 sessions, she has not been able to provide to this body whatever reason that has caused her and her staff to stay away from doing the work of the Liberian people. So I will be ready to vote. She herself.
Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, having listened to the unreadiness from my distinguished youthful representative of District Number 4, Nima County, Honorable Ernest Mercier, I do hereby respectfully accept.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the motion and modifications, we are restating the motion. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor, put your right hands. All those in favor, put up your right hands. Against? Abstain? Honorable Chief, Acting Chief Clerk.
Honorable Presiding Officer, the vote is unanimous.
So folks, welcome to today Liberia Television, coming to you live from the joint chambers of the capital.
Will the vote be unanimous? Honorable Acting Chief Clerk.
Conducting.
Please act accordingly. The issues concerning the election. Honorable Chairman, please approve the chair. Honorable Koga, please approve the chair.
Information, President.
Yes, information.
Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I want to take up back a little bit on the issue we just passed on. Taking us to Rule 26, information.
No,
that's information.
No, honorable. Legislatively, when we pass on issue.
Honorable Presiding, you recognize me, I'm a
Honorable.
It's crucial.
Honorable.
And it's important for our gathering.
Be appreciated.
So is the floor now open for discussion on the issue of the Speaker Pro Tempore?
Motion to adjourn.
Excuse me, be approved here. Distinguished colleagues, the issue that has to do with invoking Rule 10. Invoking Rule 10 on the election of the Speaker Pro Tempore. We will see that issues. The presiding will invoke it on Thursday depending on the situation. So your advances will be referred to Thursday.
Information. Don't let the presiding. Information. Motion for adjournment.
No second.
Information. Motion for adjournment.
Information.
Motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment. entertain the information. We entertain the information.
Can you speak to a lawyer? Most of my
We entertain the information and then
Thanks to the careful and the wisdom of the presiding. Thank you. Presiding colleagues. I think we are calling everybody some due process. We spoke about the Sergeant Act. There's something that I went through while sitting in our rules. Rule 26.11. It talks about the acting of the Sergeant Act. As you are aware, we do not have deputy sergeant Act. It's the body that should select a sergeant Act. And our rule clearly says that when such information comes about, or when such condition like what we're going through, we should appoint one of the doorkeepers to serve as a deputy sergeant. So we need to do that. It says, in the absence of the sergeant, one of the doorkeepers act as his deputy. Thank you, President. So with this, with being enshrined in our rules, I think there's a need to take action. Like I said, we are giving everybody due process, so we must just take that into consideration.
So
thank you.
Your information is noted.
Thank you.
The presiding will also see that on Thursday we will discuss that.
Okay, so folks, this is how the session has been adjourned by the lawmakers here at the adjourned session. So folks, these lawmakers are now leaving the joint chamber. They have concluded their session. So folks, thank you so much. This I would like to call a date on this live broadcast from the joint chambers of the Capitol building here up Capitol Hill.